Welcome back to another episode of Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. My name's James.
I'm Ray.
I'm Kenny.
Welcome back again, guys. You know, if you haven't been here before, I hope you like this content. We're just three resellers working full-time, doing what we got to do to survive and take care of our families. And we're just giving you tips, tricks, and you're just following along with whatever we just talk about. So, leave a comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate it. Well, let's get into it. How was your guys' week? Tell me.
It's really slow now. It was good last week, and then it died. We didn't even record last week, and it was good. What? Why did that happen on the week that we didn't record?
That's the way it happens, right?
Yeah. What about you, Kenny?
I'm the king of selling pens on eBay. I sold more pens than probably anybody on eBay. I'll tell you, it's doing good for me though. It was funny the other night. Jay was like, "Watch, you're gonna go upstairs and somebody's gonna message you, hey, I want to buy a big bundle of your pens." And then like 15 minutes later, after I went upstairs, somebody messaged me, "Hey, I want to buy a big bundle of your pens." So again, bolos, everybody.
Jay, can
New
you
old
say
stock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s of pens sell pretty good. As long as you price them right.
Can you say that somebody's gonna message me about buying a lot of autographed baseballs off me?
Yeah.
Because that sounds like it worked when you said that.
You know what? I think somebody is going to message you about buying a load of sports memorabilia.
All right, well, that works. Like, I'm telling you, you're going to be the eBay whisperer.
Yeah, right.
I did say that. I said, he's like, what? I said, somebody's going to message you about. And he did. Well, this week has been good for me. I've listed every day. I've watched what I listed. I have not listed junk. And with that being said, I sell something very often now. It's not back like it used to be, but it's doing well. Right before we started this, I sold 3 things in 10 minutes. And I'm trying not to put on junk. I have a certain standard of what I'm doing now, and everything else is just I'm going to sell at the flea market because I'm going to make more. Another sale.
Are you kidding me?
Another sale. So 4 in 15 minutes.
Can you share these cha-chings? Like you can't get all the sales.
I like it. I enjoy it. I just been, listen, God's blessed me. That's all. Yeah. That's all I can say. God's blessed me.
It sounds like you put in the work this week.
I put in some work, and I'm not putting that low dollar stuff anymore. I'm kicking it out the door.
Yeah.
Because what I can sell it for at the flea market, I'm gonna get the same thing. I'm getting almost the same amount by the time they take the fees, shipping, and I don't have to hassle packing it. Packing it up and worrying about a return. And if I got to take $1 less, I will.
When you say low dollar amount, like what is the limit?
I have went to I won't put anything on under $9.99.
Wow.
Nothing under $9.99.
I don't know why I just can't do it. Like I don't know why.
Nope. Yeah, I be honest with you, I haven't done anything under 15 unless I know it's going to sell pretty quickly. Right? If it has like a 300% sell-through rate, yeah, I'll put it on. But other than that, anything under 15, most of the time I can get just the same at the flea market.
Yeah.
After it's said and done. So
yeah.
Why waste my time?
If the sell-through rate's high,
that's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I guess I'm just the complete opposite, and that's probably why my sales suck.
Well, because look, we usually buy things so cheap that even if we sell it for less than what eBay's going to give us, we still make a profit. Because I buy cheap. I got to be honest with you. I am very cheap. If I I rarely buy something at higher dollar amount.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I just that's just how it's always been. I like buying cheap.
Yeah.
And then
No, I feel it.
if I touch a bin, so I got like a load of bins over here, and they're all SKU numbered. And if I start putting stuff in the SKU numbered bins, and if I see something that's been there for a long time, I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to take it off, and I start. So I did that for a couple bins already, and I put a sale on my eBay today, for stuff that's been there for a little while. Get it gone, get it gone. So, and then
Yeah, see, I tried to sell and didn't do crap.
no,
No,
well, I haven't.
I mean
None of it. I just put it on
nothing.
not too long ago. I haven't sold anything
I
on a sale yet.
look, I don't know what's going on because I've went through trying to do a sale. I've tried to do promoted listings. I've sent out coupons. Like I've tried all three of those different things. Nothing, neither of those three things have increased my sales.
Have you ended and sold similar?
I do at least 50 to 100 of them a day. But to be fair, I have not been listing. Like I only listed 10 items last week, so I know that's part of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't listed actually anything this week. I was just trying to get a lot. I was doing a lot of stuff this week, so. But I was still ending and selling similar, like 50 to 100 items. That's a lot. That should do something, but it's not doing anything.
Yeah,
Now I
should do.
will say, I will say real quick though, if you keep stuff that's been on for a very long time in your store, I've noticed that slows down the traction of traffic sometimes. I've taken old stuff off, and then all of a sudden eBay picked up. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's
Oh,
like,
I just had a sale.
you know
Just
what I
had
mean?
one.
Maybe you might need to take some of your old stuff off, wait a little while to relist it, and see if that generates a little bit of traffic for your store before you put that
Yeah.
back on.
Like, well, the thing is, I'm afraid if I end it, then it gets lost, and I forget to do it because I have so many items to keep track of, and I've done that before where I take something off, and then I'm like a week later, I'm like, crap, I didn't, relist this or hit sell similar on this, and I get confused, and then it actually creates more work for me. I feel like
But
when I
that's
do
why
that. I
you
don't know.
do a whole bin. Like if you have
Do a bit.
bin 14, take all of bin 14 off, and then wait a week and put all of bin 14 back on again. It's
Like
it's easier
just
that way. You know what I mean? Because you could do
like
whole
you're
bins
saying,
at
like
a
create
time.
all new listings, like change, like just completely
No,
relist
no, no, no,
items.
no. End and sell similar. You know what I mean? But end it, wait a week, and then sell similar, and see if that changes anything.
Well, why would I do that when I can just sort by the oldest listings?
I mean, you can, but then you have to worry about again. Then you have to go back and relist all the stuff in separate bins. I'm just saying, move some of your inventory out.
Yeah, but the
See,
I'm
I don't know
confused
how
because the
you.
location
See, I don't know
doesn't
how you've
matter.
been. I don't know how you've been. Do you like? I have bins that I know that are filled. That it's
Yeah.
filled with all older merchandise. I usually don't put newer merchandise in that bin. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm not like that. If there's
Okay.
space, I'll fit it in there
That's
and
what I do.
put it in my custom SKU because that's just wasted space to me, and that's why I rather
Well,
fill that.
that's why I usually I'll clear out that whole entire bin. I'll take that whole bin off and restart brand new.
Yeah. Okay.
But we all
I mean, I
know.
do that once in a while, but
Yeah. What'd you sell?
um, I'm going right now. Um, another Philadelphia, Pacific Philadelphia card.
Okay.
Josh Evans for $11.04.
Nice. Wow.
Like, who would even, you know what I mean?
Who would even know who a Josh Evans is?
Yep. I sent out an offer for that one. I think 15% off this morning.
Maybe it
So
was Josh Evans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like a lot of these cards, I know I've said it so many times on here, but it's like they're only rookie card a lot of time. So somebody's looking for they have a signing come up or they know the guy and they want to get autographed. Like or whatever. They need one for their collection because they have a rookie card of every single player of a certain team or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one, so they have to. The only company that put out these cards, their rookie card, is this company.
Yep.
So that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. I tell you, but going back to having stuff and taking it off, the way the algorithm used to work.
I'm not having stuff. I'm not taking off my clothes.
No way, dude. Keep them on. I don't want
Not
that.
taking off my shirt.
No, but I mean, leaving taking stuff off. Sometimes when your eBay does get crowded, it changes the algorithm up. Because people are going to looking at stuff. Now, if you think about it, you have stuff that's been on there, say, for 2 years. You're going to take it off and then sell it, resell it. I mean, yeah, you get a look at it, but, the sell-through rate might take 6 years to sell an item. So you're still just putting that 2-year-old item back on to wait 4 more years. So yeah, sometimes just got to be picky. I know as resellers, we get lazy and it's like, okay, I got this. This is a Trey Young, like little piece put out by SM All-Star Minis. Yeah, it was right there, easy to take. It's new, take pictures of. Okay, it sells once a year, and there's 40 of them listed. Why am I wasting my time on this thing?
Yeah.
And it's going to take 20 years to sell.
But look at it this way. So some of my older stuff that's in there, okay, I have these drawers, right? And it's all pins and keychains and just random smalls. Like there's a Mickey Mouse keychain. I don't know, some kind of political pin.
Take the whole drawer off. Take the whole drawer off, then take a picture of everything and sell it as a bundle. I know you hate doing bundles, but
like a junk drawer lot.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you could do that, right?
Yeah. I thought about it, but not everything in that bin is old actually. So remember, because I do just put stuff wherever there's space. So I can't. I guess I'd have to go through them. Like, okay, is this new or old? And I don't know.
Because we think about it as I had to sit down and get real with myself. Like, there's some things I got in there, dude. It was not worth me selling at all. I must have had some DVDs in there for like $1.99. Like, why even sell $1.99 DVD? Not worth. No, because I marked it down. Even at $1.99, it didn't sell.
Well, see, my limit keeps going up because inflation and prices of shipping keep rising every single year all the time. Like my bottom line keeps going up anyway. So I remember it did used to be like $1.99, and now it's $3.99. Next year it's probably going to be $4.99.
Yeah, because if you look at it, the more expensive, the more way if the economy, it costs more money to live. People are spending a lot differently, so they're looking to spend. They're looking to take their money and buy an object that's better. That 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, they were wasting their money. They didn't care. They'd buy small things and have it shipped. Because you could ship media back then for what, $1.91.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. 79.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That's the biggest difference. I think is the shipping has driven. It's harder to sell low price items.
Well, I said about 10 episodes ago, I said people now are buying things in their head. They're thinking, how can I resell it? What resale value do I have when I buy this item? What value does it have for me? And I think more and more people, more and more reseller content comes out. That's how people are starting to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got to think it does kind of change the community a little bit. When more and more people see you reselling, in their heads, they're thinking to themselves, oh, my buying habits should reflect reselling too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when they buy something, they want to make sure it has value that's going to keep.
Yeah.
So
wanted objects do that.
Yeah.
The more highly sought after objects, the more value that object's going to have. It's the supply and demand. I'll go back to saying it. The old Wii Sports. There's a supply out there to fill everybody, and the demand's always high.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that's always going to sell regardless.
Well, we talked about it last night. Video games. Even the cheap video games used to sell out 3, 4, 5 years ago, where now 80% of your video games, it's really hard to sell them.
Yeah.
It just is. I mean, most of that $5 and under games, you're going to be stuck with them.
Well, do you think during the pandemic, so a lot of people bought systems because they didn't, they bought consoles because they didn't have one and they wanted something to play while everything was shut down and all. And so I think probably what happened too is a lot of people over the years were building up their collection of that, and then it got to the point like they either lost interest or they're done buying for that collection. They don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you need games for the console.
Well,
you do.
I think something else happened too. They had a lot more disposable income, and then after now that the pandemic's over, now they're like, oh no, I have no disposable income, so they just stop buying stuff, right? Like they don't buy the frivolous items because there is no value in them $5 and under games anymore. There's just no value in them.
There isn't any value in any $10 games any longer.
Yeah.
It's because there's people, they want certain names, and that's what they want. They want the newer stuff. And if people's going to do play games that are retro, they just want bigger name retro games, and that's point blank it. And everything else that's higher, it's because the collectors ran it up, not the resellers. Yep. The resellers are not the ones who pose the market on that game. It's the collectors because they want now it's supply and demand again.
The collector controls the market. The reseller's just working inside the market.
Yeah, the reseller's just working inside the market. The collector is the one who
controls it.
Market. Yep.
Because if the collector says we don't like that game no more, it sucks. That price is going to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No demand. Who cares about supply?
So guys, get in demand products to sell.
Exactly.
Spend your time. Listen, spend your time searching for the great products so you can have more relaxing time to do what you want, because you only got to list fewer items when you sell items that go faster.
And if you keep buying junk like me, then you can't buy new stuff.
Dude, no, we've all bought junk.
Sorry,
or
Ken.
if you come along, or if you come across a bunch of slower items, find another outlet to sell them. Use Marketplace. Go set up a flea market. Go to the swap meet, yard sale. Hell, maybe even donate if you need a couple dollars off on your taxes. Yep. Think of another way to get rid of those other products. Let somebody else try to get a couple bucks off of that item, because it's just going to sit in your house and cost you money.
Yeah.
Sell it other places.
So it's what's that old motto? It's the fast nickel, slow dime.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this before.
Yep. Fast nickel, slow dime.
Yeah.
Nickels can come faster than those dimes will.
I'm the slow dime, that's for sure.
Yeah. But we've all but think about it. We've all been through different sectors in our eBay selling life, in our selling life in general. As an eBay seller, I was like, I'm going to take everything and I'm going to list everything and I'm going to list everything and just list. And for a while, at a season, it does great. And then the markets change, buyers change, everything changes to change that buyer. And then it's like, okay, I'm just going to stick with a certain niche. And that happens, that slows down, and other niches come available. Or I'm going to then go back to selling everything again, and then that doesn't work. And then it's, the way I'm doing things now is I'm just sticking in a certain number placement. I'm going any lower than that, and I'm just going to see how that works. And for a season, that might work, and then it might change again. But we as sellers, I mean, we go through different things, like how we sell in person or how we sell on Facebook Marketplace. Some things work for a while, some things don't. But we've all been caught in categories, man. Everybody's bought junk. Everybody's listed junk. I've got junk on my store right now. It's junk. I do. We all have. And if you guys out there listen to this and you say, I don't have it, you're a liar. You're a liar. Everybody's bought junk.
Or you don't buy that much.
Yeah.
I mean, even people that get stuff for free get junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah,
we're bringing it too doesn't mean you sell it.
There's a lot of people in the flea market that sell and they get a lot of stuff for free, and I swear I don't think they can't even make. They can barely make over their table or their spot money.
That's
you know?
a lot of people. A lot of people.
I'm like, just because it's free doesn't mean it's good. You gotta spend money to make money. Usually, so I mean, I don't get the thought process all the time of that, but or at least you put time into it, like some good time, like good effort.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's doing it for so many years and knowing what people are looking for, or how you set your shop up, or how you go about getting the psychological element of your customer. That all that plays in a position, because we'll do things like we have done things and we've changed the way we sold in many different occasions in Facebook. I mean, I'm sorry, in person. We have. And then sit back and like watch people at the flea market do the same, do different things that is not going to work. It's hard to look at it because then they are drowned and they barely make even table money. It's like, why waste your time?
I mean, how many times, James, they walked up and told us, I've only made enough to pay for my spot.
Yeah.
Like, you have all this product, all these people, you're just a really bad seller. You're not doing it right. Whatever your case may be, you're doing it wrong. If you go to the flea market and you only make your spot money, you made a mistake.
There's a huge amount of people at the flea market that just they don't make their money. Like, what happened to that lady that was there at your next to your spot at the flea market? Was it a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week? I can't remember.
It was the week before last.
She
sold nothing but one thing to Kenny. Kenny did listen, because she told me in the beginning, it was like, yeah, $15 a roll for this bubble wrap, and I think it was $10 for the other one. I was like, no, and nah, that's it. And she was like, that's what we sell them for. And Kenny at the end of the day was like, well, I'll give you $10 for both. And she was like, okay, So Kenny got it for $10.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
And she got 2 spots, bro.
Dude, oh my gosh. So how much was that?
$50.
Oh my gosh. And I know when I got there,
that's all she had, dude, was a tub of plushie, a table with like some 2 things of bubble wrap on it.
Some nonsense.
Yeah.
A
couple other little things.
When I got there, they were like collecting the money for for the tables, their spots and all, and I'm like, and she like said something to Mike or whatever. He's collecting the money, and it's like, oh, he's and I got somebody coming to bring more stuff or whatever, and he looks at time and he's like, he better get here.
Yeah,
because I think I got there late. Like, wasn't that like around like 10 or 11 a.m. or something like that? And he's like, when is he gonna get here? Because she's like, well, when is the flea market close? And he's like, 3 p.m. He's like, she's like, oh, there's plenty of time. He'll be here. And I think she paid for the spot. And I'm like, wow.
See, here's the problem.
She only did 40.
Her problem and many other people's problem is, if you're sitting there and you're not interacting with anybody, regardless of whether you're selling something or not, if you're not interacting with the people walking by, the customers, you're never going to sell anything. People are going to walk right by you. They're not going to notice you. They're like zombies. I call them flea market zombies. They go there every week. They don't. All it is an addiction to walk around sometimes. And if you don't get their attention, you're never going to get their money. You have to like draw them in. You just do, because people are zombies when they just walk around and they just do it as a habit. You know,
Yeah, but
they've been doing it for 30 years. You're
Yeah.
never going to be able to get that money out of their pocket unless you interact with them. You have to
I don't know.
interact.
There's a lot of people that don't really interact with them too much. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
you can't.
And that's the problem.
But yeah, no. But I think some of them do okay. They could just sit back in their little chair and just, like, oh, this is that price.
Yeah, but we put the work in, right? So we
Yeah,
actually have dozens, probably hundreds of customers at this point that say they put up at least $20 a week or more just to come see us on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
So we automatically know
yeah,
that we have, a certain amount of money coming to us because they do it. We done built them a habit. We taught
yeah,
them. We trained our customers so good that now that they actually put money away every week just to come give it to us.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you
which
know,
is a
like,
great,
yeah. But
which is a great
yeah,
business thing, right? Like
that
we love it.
that lady that lady lost $40 because she only brought enough stuff. It was like comparable to one box of what you brought.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
That
why.
was absolutely one of her mistakes. Number
Yep.
two, so I believe the stuff you bring is also attention. Like Gary Vee says, the attention is the number one winner in business, because if you can get your people's attention, you have their attention, you win. Think about this: when they still come around like $2 a piece, 3 for $5, dollar, they say that. Why? It's because we got their attention. It's not that stuff is embedded in their mind. When you
Yep.
get their attention, you win every single time. That's why marketing is so huge in business. That's why when you start a web page, how do you get attention? How do you get the attention? By marketing. By putting the word out. It's attention. That's how you win in business.
Think
I
about
I
it. They
I,
walk up
I
to
don't
us.
know.
They walk up to us and they know the slogans, almost like commercial slogans. They walk up to us and repeat the things that we trained them to say for the last 3 years. And it's almost like you would repeat like a JG Wentworth, 877 cash now. You know what I mean? Those type of slogans. They walk up and repeat it to us because they like to hear us say it. And we're almost like the cartoon characters, the TV commercials that you see on TV. So we train them that like, we basically brainwashed them into being our customers.
Well,
You know what I
there's
mean?
there's scientific.
Essentially, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it's nefarious, but that's just the way all marketing works. You're training
Sure.
your customers in to want your product.
Well, there's
How?
scientific research.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's the dreaded sound.
Scientific research that talks about people in flea markets and how people, they just go there and their attention's focused on, their mind might be 50% of people, their mind might be just on one thing, so they don't even see you, they don't even know that it's there. I mean, this is backed
Yeah.
scientific research. I mean, it's obvious from being there and watching them. So how do you get somebody's attention who only has one thing on mind: seeing the person who's selling the candles down the road from the block, the road from you, and where you're set up, but they're walking past you? How do you get them to you? Think about it.
Yeah.
Attention. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Attention wins. That's why
Just
you have.
just
That's
hire
why.
Kenny
That's
to
why
be out
we're on
there.
YouTube. That's
Yeah.
why people. That's why people do TikTok. It's attention. It's attention. It's attention.
Well, look, how many times, Jay, have I've been there for a long time with you guys, just hanging out, and then right before I leave, or even like people are getting ready to pack up, or some people are packing up, and I walking back to my car, I'm getting ready to get out of there or something, and I see something and I buy it, and it's been there all day, and it's like a $50 item that or something like that I got really cheap. And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like I've done it with that one hat that was there all day, right
Yeah,
next to you.
right there,
Time.
right there at the
Yep,
thing.
literally right next to your stand all day. And I go over at the end of the day, and it's like a $50 hat or whatever it was.
Well,
And then
Yeah, I remember.
it happened last. It happened no, not last week. or maybe it was a couple weeks ago or something like that. But I was going back to my car, and or maybe it was because was it last weekend? Maybe it was last weekend. I think it was last weekend.
Well, that only proves that most of your customers are zombies. Because people ask the
Yeah.
question, how is something that good is still sitting on the table at the end of the day?
Well,
It's because nobody caught that person's attention as they were walking by, and everybody just
part
walked right by them. And so that good
part of
item
it's
was just sitting
display
on that
though.
table, you know.
So part of it's display. Both times between those hats, they were not that first top hat on the stack. So if you're not putting your best product out there on top for everybody to see, it's not
With
going to get me to
attention.
walk over.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you don't
So
have them even coming over to your table in the first place, you're never going to make any sale. You got to
yeah,
get them
but
over there
I
in the
walk
first
by
place.
them as I'm walking by them. I'm window shopping anyway. If I see something that I want, like from a distance, I'm going to get drawn in.
That's
That's
you because you're
because
a reseller.
that's
That,
because you're a reseller. You're not an average customer.
you're not an
You're a
average. You're
reseller.
not an average customer. Not only that
I
is
don't know.
you remember what I just said was how you design where you're at is attention. How you
Yeah.
set those hats up is attention. So that means that you was able to get that thing at that point in time. At the end of the day, you know why? Because he didn't do his marketing right. He didn't do his attention correctly.
Yep. Something that good should have sold early.
You won. You know what? You know
Yeah.
what I got last week? I went to the stall next to us. I think it was on Sunday. I picked up a box of cards. And I looked through this box of cards. The guy was like $5 for the box. I was like, no. There's a stack of 1961 tops car cards sitting on these things. I picked this up. I was like, what do you want for these? He's like, oh, you can have them for free. That stack's worth $200.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it happens all the time. I've told you the story about that T-shirt I bought on the day I was waiting to get that game worn Ravens jersey. I waited all day trying to make a deal. They wouldn't. Because somebody told me it was game worn early in the morning, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't want to sell it." And I kept going back to see if they wanted to sell it. And then at the end of the day, like I did my last round to see if they want to sell it, and it had a whole pile of clothes for free. And then there was it's like probably like a $80 to $100 T-shirt in there for free.
Yep. That's
Happens.
crazy. That's crazy though.
Crazy. So what was that dreaded notification sound?
They wanted to see if I would accept an offer for something.
Why don't they just make you don't have offers turned on?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I stopped turning offers on. I just think when they, save it or whatever they do, then I'll send the offer out. I turned off offers. I don't accept offers anymore.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I put
do.
do not disturb on my phone, so I won't get anything while we're doing this.
Okay. Yeah.
I sent them an offer though. I mean, not for what they wanted to give me, but.
So I sold a card.
James, I did cash out our whatnot thing. So as soon as it comes through, I get a chance. I'll have some money for you.
Okay, sounds good.
You guys sold on whatnot?
Well, I had some money in the account.
Ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just forgot to cash it out.
I sold a card, an autograph card, like I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago. And and it's a card that I got signed myself by CJ Mosley.
I don't think I do. Yeah, CJ Mosley.
Yep. And so the guy buys it. It's literally cheap. It's like $5, And he gets it, and he messaged me saying that he thought it was authenticated, which I never put in there that was authenticated.
Right.
And he what did he say? He basically had said he didn't think the autograph was even real. And I'm like, no, it's 100% real. I got it signed myself, in person.
Right.
I've met CJ Mosley like so many times. This is a ridiculous amount of times I've probably gotten him to sign stuff, or really, really nice, always genuine, like really awesome guy. But he said he was gonna want to like return it, And I'm like, well, you're welcome to return it, I guess. But I'm like thinking, I'm like, it's 100% real. And because then his reasoning saying that he didn't think it was real is because this is what he told me, which I think it's not true. Because he was comparing to, I think he was comparing to the all his signed cards that are authenticated. Like
Yeah.
most of them are rookies, but he'll never put his number
Well, signature
on
changes.
with the signature. Well, yeah, but every time I've ever gotten him, he's always put his number. But still, all the rookie cards, or even if he, I guess maybe he just signs cards because he's signing so many for company, like sitting down, like he signs thousands of them probably. Like it, he's not putting his number down because it's quicker. And I try to tell him that, and then like I don't know. At some point, he's like said that he'll just keep it. He was gonna sell it and framed with a jersey that he has or something like that, and but he wanted it to be authenticated. I'm like whatever. But then he just after a while he just said he'll keep it. But I'm like, what? Like for $5 card? Like
That's crazy.
I'm
Did
like,
you,
what do you?
did we talk about your? Did you talk about your mini helmets last week, James? On here, I
I
can't
don't even
remember.
remember.
No, we didn't do last
Oh,
week.
we didn't do
Remember
last week.
this is
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
we skipped a week.
Yeah, I picked up 18 or
18.
20 mini helmets.
Yeah, I wanted to see them on Monday, and then you drove me home.
I know, and I drove you home. I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know if we wanted to come back or not. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. You were offering to take me home. I'm like, I'm not gonna say no, even
yeah,
though
there
it's
you
not
go.
that far. I'll walk to your house.
Yeah, like I only listed 2 so far. I sold one of them. But I mean, they're not all. They're all. I think all Hall of Famers. Every one of them are Hall of Famers. They're not huge. Some of them are not the huge, the biggest names. One I sold today or yesterday was Eric Dickerson, which is a good name. I mean, he's a good name. I didn't even check them all out to be truthful with you, but they're all certified. You all got JSA or Beckett certifications, and the pictures of them signing, and then the real life authentic witness. And so I paid $250 for him. Kenny was at the flea market, seen a guy, and said, "Hey, my brother, take him." He called me. I
I
came
got him
by,
down
picked
a
him up.
little bit though. He wanted 350 for him, and I talked him down to 250.
I wouldn't have paid $350. I don't think.
No,
Yeah,
I knew you wouldn't. So I talked him down to 250, and I was like, just please hold on to him. You know what I mean? I promise you. And I was trying to get a hold of James, and I finally got a hold of him. And I was like, I told myself, if Jay didn't want him, I was going to call Ray up next and see if he wanted.
I
Or your
picked up.
dad, would have took him, Ray.
yeah, he probably would have.
Mm-hmm.
They would have sat in his attic for who knows till
You would have
when.
got him eventually.
Yeah,
All right.
A couple days ago, I had some cards on Facebook Marketplace. Got I was only selling a box, like 1981 top stuff, and I kind of went through it. We'll sell a box for $30. Guy was like, "Hey, would you take $20?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you a collector or anything?" I thought, "No," because I already know where that's going. You take all the good stuff out, which I would have, but there was okay stuff in there. Nothing to write home about. So I was like, I collect video games, whatever. I don't even collect video games. I just want the games. And he's like, well, I got some around, and he brought some over. We come to a deal. I found a couple more cards to give him too. Threw some stuff in. Like I had a 71 Ted Williams. Not worth a bunch of money. The cards look good, and I gave him $40. I got like 64 games. Like Mario Kart, like Star Fox, all big name stuff. A Jungle Green N64. I got a whole bag of like Game Boy Advance games, DS games, a 3DS, a DS, a whole Lego Toys to Life set, a I got,
Dang.
like Pokemon Jungle Green, a bunch of Wii games, and it was worth it.
You robbed this guy.
Well, yeah, but that's what he wanted.
I know. I'm just starting drama.
I did rob him, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I did rob him.
Yeah, because I was a big bag. The DS games alone, the Game Boy Advance games, it's a big bag full of them.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna do good just on that.
Yeah, that's good though. Hey,
It is. I mean,
my dog's
got it.
barking
What
at.
was that noise?
Yeah,
That's Ray's
my
house.
dog's
Calling
barking.
it.
That's what I was going to say. I just thought I see somebody peep its head around the corner,
No,
like some
you said that
I've
pale
done
white
it
before.
face.
twice. I've seen that twice so far.
Yeah, it's been
Nah.
2 times. Pale white face right behind your head,
Yeah. Okay.
like it's like this.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's like
Do you hear things at night, Ray?
No.
The reseller ghosts of old.
No. Yeah. My slow sales are the only thing that haunt me.
Oh no! Slow sales. It's gone.
It's
the ghost of Commonwealth
I just
Picker.
don't get it. Huh?
The ghost of Commonwealth Picker.
Ghost.
Look at him still holding this brush. I'm telling you guys,
Right?
if you guys don't get a makeup brush, this thing is, man,
I know you said that last time.
it works wonders, bro. I'm telling you.
I got a soft bristle horse brush. I keep a
Soft
backpack for all my stuff I use. I got a Nike bag.
Oh, do you?
All my things I use for my eBay.
Yeah. What you guys keep a bottle of alcohol laying around?
And goof
Yeah,
off.
somewhere.
And
Yeah, Google
Q-tips, alcohol, Q-tips. Got to keep that laying around. Yeah, I got a bottle of goof off over here.
I got batteries.
Containers of OxyClean to clean my hats and
Super glue.
which I need to do. I got a lot of hats I need to clean.
Yeah, I don't keep OxyClean around.
This is This is an Annie. It's like really soft on one side and like harder bristle on the other. This is perfect for cleaning hats. Like you get that lint and crap on them hats.
Yep.
These hard bristles sweeps it off nice. Annie brush. This is not sponsored by Annie brushes, but Annie brushes is awesome.
Nice.
They make really good brushes.
Ray's like, where are we headed to right now? All the tools you use. Listen, as a reseller, you got to have tools. Like I walk around my house in the daytime with a tool belt. I got a pouch reseller tool belt. We're creating a reseller tool belt.
Reseller tool belt. Yep.
Place for
Talking
your phone.
about tools, I did sell it. Remember, I just bought some tools not that long ago.
You did.
I sold one already.
Good.
Fine. It was a Cobalt, I think, screwdriver or something like that.
Nice.
Where is it at? Cobalt 13-in-1 double drive screwdriver, $16, brand new.
There you are.
Yep.
Kenny's got an MCM bag around his neck. Yeah,
it's like a $400 bag. It's crazy. The inside needs to be cleaned out. It's a little dirty because it needs to go to like a dry cleaner and have this cleaned properly.
Yeah, we bought it from a guy.
It's like $400 or $500. Yeah.
Wow.
We bought it from a guy who does storage cleanouts, and we used to get loads of stuff from him every month or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like a special edition one. Look, I don't know if you see the symbol. Everybody at home see that symbol right there. You find MCM bags, they're all worth money. But if you find the one that has this logo on there, this is like a special limited edition one. It's worth a lot of money. They make them in different colors. It's like they have like a brown, real dark brown, red leather, all different kind of colors, but this is the light brown tan is the more coveted one.
Yes. Hot Tua.
So did you guys see you see Goodwill what they started doing now?
No, what did you do?
If you have a return that they won't give you the cash back or anything anymore.
Really?
It'll go on a gift card only.
Uh,
Like that's some bull crap.
I,
If you pay with a certain amount of whatever, like if
yeah.
I pay cash, you give me cash back. You don't give me some freak, especially if I got the receipt and it's within the return policy like time frame. Like you get your crap for free. You don't have no money freaking put into this crap. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I can't stand Goodwill. I
No.
can't. Goodwill is like
either.
such a rotten
No,
organization.
like that is completely rotten now.
Sure it is. Well, guess what? They never used to give you any money back. From Goodwill, you bought something and it was messed up or whatever one you wanted to return, there was no returns. When I worked at Goodwill, they said no returns. I thought it was against the law.
To me, look, if stuff is cheap enough, it is what it is. Like I wouldn't even make a big deal if I didn't pay much for something and it didn't work, didn't fit, whatever. Like you know what I mean? They got stuff for free. They charged me a couple bucks or something like that. And I'm not even gonna bother wasting the gas to go return it, whatever. So, but now they're just freaking greedy, have their prices way up there, and so that's why they had to probably start doing some kind of return policy, and now that they're being greedy again, they're like, you know what? No, if they come to return it, they have to come back again. That's their way to get people even back in the store.
I watch these channels that show the Goodwills, and they go in and they show the people how ridiculous they're pricing these things. They are Goodwill is ridiculous, dude. I mean, they're absolutely insane with some of these prices.
It's crazy, but then I see some that like it's like insanely good prices. I'm like, where the heck is this Goodwill?
Yeah, some are insanely good prices.
Like it's literally has to be in the middle of nowhere, where you know what I mean. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's not a Walmart in town or anything. Like it's just a Goodwill.
Yeah,
that's the only thing the town has. A Goodwill and probably a grocery store and a gas station. That's it.
Well, people don't realize Goodwills are privately owned, and they go under the moniker. They have to pay Goodwill Corporation. They're just a franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well,
James has more information. James has more information on that than I do, but they're basically a franchise.
They're absolutely a franchise. That's all they are, franchise. I'll tell you why they're not nonprofit. Because guess what? If you hire somebody and you fire somebody and it's a nonprofit organization, they cannot collect unemployment. You can't collect unemployment when you work for a nonprofit.
Okay.
Work for a church, you get fired. You can't collect unemployment. You can't even put in for unemployment. So that goes to show you, Goodwill is not a nonprofit. You're shopping at Goodwill, you think it's nonprofit? It's not. Here's the answer. You cannot collect unemployment from a nonprofit job. I went to so many unemployment hearings. The fight against people fighting for unemployment. It's crazy.
That's great. That's wild. Oh, man. That is wild.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No,
Goodwill sucks. They don't help people. They help themselves. I don't care. Oh, they do such good work. They don't do shit.
I'll tell you. I want to go to the Goodwill binge where what's his face goes. What's that reseller's name?
Oh, there's a bunch of them that go to bins.
No, Harry Tornado.
Okay.
He always has his bins was always great. Ours sucked ass.
Yeah.
Well, there is some good ones. But it's I don't know. It's just
not around us.
Yeah. well, they don't care about this area. They probably make so much money off the regular stores that they're like, why would we put a regular
Well,
bins?
Ben's used to be good here.
Yep.
10 years ago, they used to be good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the freaking pandemic, they were like, all right, that's enough.
Yep.
But they weren't that crowded either. But they were okay. I mean, you could spend some hours there and get some decent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just you had to know what you were doing, and like I would go there, I'd literally go there, pick for a little while, and then I'd go a few doors down, grab some pizza or something like that, eat lunch, and I head back down for a couple more hours, and I get out of there. Like, to make it worthwhile. That was my trip every time I went. And my brother used to go in there all the time. I mean, there's people there. Obviously, they live there. They're there every single day for almost the entire day, and then they would sell at the flea market on the weekends. Like,
yep, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They'd buy it and take it to the flea market and
Yeah.
resell it.
Oh yeah, and it's I don't necessarily love it because like sometimes they have such a system, or they get mad or whatever, just all kinds of things. Like they would, like if you found something good, they weren't happy for you. They wanted it for themselves, and you know what I mean. That's those type of people that a lot of times I feel like that are there all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard for them to be happy for somebody else.
There's only only one man in your life that's going to be happy for you to succeed. That's going to be your father. That's it. Everybody else is competition.
Yeah.
That's the way they look at it. They want you to die. When you're in there, they want you to die. That's why they call it sharks. You got a shark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not as much as a shark as I used to be, dude. I was ruthless. I was ruthless, Ray. Ray, I was ruthless.
Yeah. I believe it. I mean, I look. It's hard because sometimes
Hold on. We went to a yard sale one time. Showed up early to get some 3DS games, some Pokemon stuff. This is how ruthless Kenny is. Kenny, God was like, yeah, I was here. I'm buying it all. He's trying to reach his hand in, and Kenny was like, basically, listen, I have nothing to lose. I will beat the shit out of you. This guy was like 6'5", bro. Like, all right, we're gonna rumble over 3DS games.
Yeah.
Oh
No, it's
no,
not
that
happening.
guy! I was gonna break that dude. He would have found out why you don't stick a hand in our boxes. Oh, he was gonna go down, one way or another.
Sometimes you gotta be ruthless. Down in the comments, tell me if you're ruthless. I want to know if you're ruthless. Listen, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta be ruthless, Ray.
I
Because
believe.
I
if
know.
not, they're gonna walk all over you.
I believe in
Yeah.
a certain. I believe in a certain demeanor and a certain, rapport. If I'm digging in a bin, don't come over here and try to shove your way into the bin I'm digging in. Go over to another boxer bin that I'm not in. But if I'm looking at something and I got my hands on it, don't you dare try to get it from me. I always feel like you're stealing from me at that point. Like there should be certain rules, unwritten rules, of things that you can and can't do. You know what I mean? That is one of them. Don't do that. Don't go reaching your hand in the bins that I'm in already. I do not like that.
Years ago, I was at was it Bromwell flea market, and I mean I was pretty mad, but I mean I think it was my first lesson. Don't put anything down that you pick up unless until you tell them
Mm-hmm.
you made a pile or you're making a pile or something. Because I mean it's not like I moved my spot, but I'm literally at this table and there's a bunch of baseballs. I'm literally going through the baseballs trying to see who's on them. So I actually have to turn the baseball and look, and you can only hold so many baseballs at one time. But I put two of them down in front of me so I can go get another. And this guy reached in front of me, like literally I have him sitting right in front of me. He reached in front of me and grabbed the Cal Ripken ball. And then he's like, "How much is this one?" And the guy said a price real quick, and I'm like, I'm like, whatever, fine, I don't want any. And then You know, because I just had them right in front of me.
That's when you tell them,
Yeah.
that was mine, dude.
Yeah.
That was mine.
Yeah. Well, I
Set it down.
learned, and I won't mess with that anymore. Like, I won't, you know, because if I'm literally still looking at them, they're literally right in front of me. You know what I mean? You can only hold so many things at once, especially when you're looking at that kind of stuff. You want to. I'm not just gonna buy them blindly. You know what I mean? I just want to make, you know, in my mind, make sure that I think they look good. I want to, you know, make sure who they are. You know, there's so many factors into it. There might be, you know, whether the signature looks good. Maybe the ball is like toning, or it has like some spots or scratches, and maybe, you know, maybe I'm looking for the hologram sticker to see if there's a COA or anything. Like, there's so many factors. I can't, when I'm looking at baseball, I can't
I'll
do
tell you,
that.
I've even trained my competition. Like now, especially because I do a lot at the same flea market, they stay away from me. I've already threatened a couple people, had it out with them. You know, a couple people almost went to blows with. Now, if I'm somewhere, they don't even come near me. They know better, because I wouldn't do it to them either, right? Like if they're looking in a box, I'm not gonna like shove my way into their box, right? Even though I
Mm-hmm.
want to, I'm not going to do it, right? Because I don't want somebody doing that to me. I've already trained them. Them people in the mornings that are there looking around, they know to just stay out of my way. Because I will argue, I will fight with you. It's just principle
Yeah.
at that point.
You got to
So
Now,
assert
yeah,
your dominance.
yeah, that's it. They know better
yeah.
now. Oh no, they don't do. And I'm gonna be clear. I don't even try to act like I'm the baddest guy in the world. Hell, they might beat my ass, but they're gonna know that I fought for that box. That's my box. That's my bin. It doesn't matter. We're gonna go to blows over that bin that I was looking in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, I was watching a reel on from the, what's his name? I think it's the Kings of eBay.
Yeah, King of eBay.
He had he recently, you know, he was at a flea market or something like that. And he's seen all these McDonald's, like these McDonald's posters or whatever, and they were framed up or something like that. And I don't know, he was interested in them, but then I don't know. It's hard to tell from the video. I mean, he said he's told the lady that, you know, he wanted to make a pile, and then but this other guy was still looking at them too while he was already in the process, because he moved around and he was looking at other stuff. So at that point in time, I don't think he told her right away that he was going to make a pile and he wanted those. So, but somebody else was already starting to look at him when he was going off looking at other stuff, and then he said he wanted to make a pile and he was interested in getting it. And then he starts. I mean, I get it. I mean,
You snooze, you lose sometimes,
look,
you know.
yeah. Well, no, but he was lowballing them too, and I think, you know, I'm like, well, I don't know. I think she wanted like $40 just for posters, and I think there was something, like a few other things, and then he like started off saying he just paid $40 for everything, and she's like, no, I'm not budging on the posters or whatever it was, like, but some other that alone, because if you're negotiating like that, it gave the other guy a leadway. He's like, oh, I'll give you 45 or something like that, you know, or I'll give you 50 or something, you know what I mean? Like, this other guy was trying to get it, and the Kings of eBay was pissed. But I'm like, you kind of did it to yourself because you wanted to mess around. Like, just, you started a bidding war.
Well, not even that. Look, you can't stop people from talking, right? That's the
Yeah.
one thing you can't. You can't. They can run their mouth all they want. You know, you might not like it, but they can say, if they hear the price that you're working out with that person, and they say, I'll give the person more. Look, it still belongs to that person. They can make that choice, whether they sell it to you or sell it to the other person. You know, yeah, it sucks, but you can't do nothing about it, right?
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't control what somebody does with their own product. You just,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, it's a little bit different compared to like what I dealt with those baseballs. They were literally right in front of me.
Yeah,
I mean,
you didn't have
it's
your
like the
hands
guy
on
had to
them.
reach around me almost to get to him.
You didn't have your hands on them, and you didn't make a verbal agreement with the person who owns them about like
Yeah,
making
I
a
didn't even ask the
pile.
price yet.
That's what I'm saying. So you know, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you know that guy had all the right in the world to grab that ball and try to get it,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't really blame him. It
No,
sucks.
no. I don't think he had the right. What are you talking? It was right in front of me. I'm saying the other way around. Like with the Kings of eBay, the other guy, I think had every right to make an offer if he
Yeah,
wanted to,
I believe
because
that too.
you know.
Yeah, but
But I don't
even
think
with
any
you,
someone was right
even
in
you with
front
the
of me.
ball, did you announce that? Look, I'm buying this ball. Did you have
I
it in
didn't
your
even know the
hands?
price. There were so many baseballs that, and I don't have the right to every one, but for him to not pick one off the stack, but pick the small stack of two or three that are right in front of me, he instead of picking the ones that are further in front of me, he literally went like directly in front of me. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
he had no right. He had no right to do it. I would have
yeah,
said, "Susie,
that's
grab that, Ray. That's mine.
Yeah,
I had it for myself.
yeah,
Don't touch that."
yeah.
yeah,
I thought you walked away from it. I thought you said you
no,
had two, and then you went over to grab another one, and then he grabbed
no,
it. Yeah, if he grabbed it off of you, like if it was like in your little vicinity, that's different. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
He had no right to it.
yeah.
I thought
But and
I
that's
thought
not.
when you first said the story, I thought you said, you had them two, and then you went off to get a third one. I thought you meant like you walked away from
Uh,
them. Okay.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it was
right.
like a whole wall almost on this table built of all these baseballs, and so there was probably about like 60 or 70 baseballs there.
Oh yeah, I would have
You know,
snatched his hand at that point.
He
Bam.
didn't
yeah.
go to my stack.
He had all those other ones to look at. He wants to grab the one that's right in front of me because he's seen
Mm-hmm.
Cal Ripken's autograph on it. You know, that's exactly what it was. And I think like it was something stupid. It was like $10 or $20. I mean, it was probably not even 20. I bet you it was 10. I think at the time it was years ago, and I just remember being so mad about it. I'm still so, but that there was a learning, like it was a lesson because of that whole situation I was in. I learned from it. Like
I will
I
say
don't.
we're aggressive, maybe sometimes a little too aggressive, especially when both of us go out. Me and Jay both go out. We're like extremely aggressive with people. 18 to 80, dumb, blind, and crazy. It doesn't matter to me. If I have my hands on it or if I claimed it already, you better go away.
Yeah, I mean, I used to go to like thrift stores and they bring out carts, and I'm bogarting the whole cart. It's mine. I'm buying it all, and then they start grabbing. I'm grabbing it out of their hand. It's mine. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's mine.
Yep.
Right?
And
You got it. You got.
that old son bitch was about to get smacked in his ear that day by you. That guy
Yeah,
walked up and tried to grab that boat, remember?
yeah.
And then they kicked you out of the store.
They threw me out of the store.
Jeez.
I got. I did get loads of as things come out the doors. I take the whole. I'll take the whole cart, but and I not let anybody get any of it, and just put it all on my thing. I'm sorry. I just it's got to be like that. It just has to be because you're trying to feed your family, right? You're trying to take care of your family. You got bills to pay, and these other guys too. Doesn't mean I'm going to have to share it with you.
I
You're
ain't
not
gotta
my
Yeah.
feed
buddy.
your kids. It ain't my kid. I ain't paying for your kid. I'm paying for my kid.
Well, it's like it's all this stuff has always taught me like when whether I'm at like a state sale, yard sale, and stuff like that. Make a pile, or if I'm at a state sale, have a bag, put everything in a bag, go through it later in a corner when it gets quiets down a little bit, and see what I actually truly want. And I do the same thing at any thrift store I go to. I fill my cart throughout the time, and I'm like, okay, what do I really want out of here?
Yeah.
Because
But,
I don't want to have to,
but see, that's
worry
why
about.
it's always good to have a second person, right? Like Jay and I will work off of each other. Like, I'll block other people or I'll help grab some stuff. Or while he's grabbing it, I'll start looking it up for him. Whatever, you know what I mean? And vice
Yeah,
versa, he'll do it for me. And it's good to have two people because we can
yeah,
we can kind of like corner the other people out, right? Because
yeah.
then there's two of us working at the same time, basically.
Well, like yeah, like in a estate sale, like I like when my wife goes with me because, okay, she go upstairs or the main floor, and I'll go to the basement or something like that. We cover more ground.
Well, we usually are next to each other, so especially if it's a lot of
Okay,
stuff, Jay will go, "Hey, look, Kenny, hold this," or I'll start looking it up while he's looking at other stuff, or I'll stand in the way of the aisle so they can't get down the aisle while he's bogarting a whole aisle
hmm
instead of just a bin.
okay,
or whatever. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah,
play it that way. You know,
makes sense.
run interference. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. You know,
yeah,
and that works
yeah,
for
yeah.
Yeah, because people will do the same thing to you.
yeah, if they
They
could.
get the opportunity, they'll do the same thing to you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I mean, it's like one of those things. Like people just, I mean, people don't care anymore. Like they don't, like they don't. There's so many people they'll cut you off and when you're riding down the road or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean. Now, I mean, I'm not saying go cut somebody off,
Right.
but sometimes you gotta be the asshole.
Yeah. I mean,
You
now
know
it's,
what I mean?
nowadays it's not like I'm out to try to do,
Yeah.
I'm still, I'm a baby shark anymore, but
Well,
I will be if you start doing things that are messed up.
James,
I'm going to assert my
we
dominance.
because we get our product now at such a level of like quantity. Now we don't usually go out to like flea markets and yard sales and thrift stores like we used to. So, we don't do it. But if we did, we'd go right back into, being sharks again.
Mhm.
Cause I am
Yeah.
mean. I literally, if I will cut everybody's throat. I have
Yeah.
no loyalty to anybody, anywhere,
Mhm.
at any time. They ain't family. They ain't blood. They ain't my friend. I want them to fail. This brings up a good story at the flea market the other week. Me and
Yeah.
James had about 15, 20 jerseys we hung up and were selling, right? And the person that works for the flea market came over to us and said, um, that guy over there is selling jerseys. I'm gonna need you to stop selling your jerseys. Now, just to build, we have 15 or 20 jerseys, and the rest of our stuff is just mixed product. We only have 15 or 20 jerseys, right? You guys got to stop selling your jerseys. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I thought he was joking. Oh no, we can't have you selling the same product as him, even though like there's 7 people that are selling dish detergent surrounding us right now, and they're all selling the same product. He's trying to come over and say, because we were selling them cheaper than the other guy, oh, you have to stop selling your jerseys. So I got into like a 15-minute argument with this guy about how stupid that was. Literally on the verge of getting kicked out of the flea market because they were literally trying to say we couldn't sell the same thing as that guy.
Well, he
So
said because.
yeah, it was his buddy. It was probably their friend, and they were trying to cheat and say that we couldn't sell our jerseys to make money to feed our family.
Well, he said it was. That's what he sells to make his living. He told me.
Oh yeah,
That's what he said. That's the story you're getting to.
but that's the exact
Yeah.
same thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He
Well,
said, "I'm not worried about him as a competition.
that's
Yeah, and I
He's
that's
going
told
not
to
them.
the first
fail."
time it's happened there though.
I told them, look, and one of them was a cop that came over. I said, no, I want him to fail. I want this guy to fail. I hope he fails. I want to succeed. I hope he fails, makes no money. I want everybody to come over and buy my item. And I actually truly was, I was being truthful. I don't want that guy to succeed. Because if he succeeds, that means I fail. That guy's not worried about whether I make money or not. Why am I worried about him making money? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that might sound conceited, but dude, that's pass or fail. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this to fail. I'm doing this to make money.
Well, not with that many vendors and stuff at a flea market, not everybody's going to succeed. So, or not everybody's going to have a successful day.
Nope.
So, like you were doing what you were doing to have a successful day at the flea market,
And we
and I
always
think
have. We always
yeah,
have beaten out the competition. Every day that we've ever sold in person at the flea market, we've
but
beaten everybody. We've always
it's like
won.
one of
We've
those,
always made sure we won and they lost.
you guys bought those jerseys, and that was your collection that you bought. You're not getting any more right now. Like, and if you do, you might get. It's going to be a different deal, but you might get. Who
But
knows
even
when
if
it?
I did, even if I had
Yeah,
1,000
well, that's what I'm
jerseys,
saying.
who gives a shit that I'm selling the same jerseys he's selling but cheaper? I don't care. Why are you even involved?
Yeah.
Why is the guy working at the flea market even involved in what I'm
Look.
selling? What I'm selling isn't illegal. It's not against some kind of rule.
Okay. Okay.
There is no
Because
federal law against non-competence.
okay. You guys. So he was selling fake jerseys, and you guys are selling fake jerseys. So this is the battle of the fake jerseys. So technically, it was illegal. It's just.
By the way, we sold all of our jerseys.
Yeah.
Every single jersey sold, every single one of them.
Yep.
Within 2
We
days.
probably sold one or two. I don't know.
But it's just crazy. Like, how is the flea market going to support him, knowing that like that's all he sells, and he acts like, because he puts it on a show like they're legitimate too. Like he doesn't,
Mhm.
he won't tell you that they're fake necessarily. You know what I mean?
Right.
But even if it doesn't matter, like you
Well,
guys were just selling
our
them
jerseys
cheap.
weren't fake. Our jerseys were like the ones they gave away like at the game. You know what I mean? They were really cheap made.
No,
They weren't fake. They were really cheaply made. We will never sell fake jerseys. It will never be fake. They just won't be
Okay,
authentic.
I didn't mean to put that out there. Like, look, I don't care like that. You do, because that's what I buy. I'd rather buy that crap than pay money for an NFL jersey that's you know what I mean. Like the guy's going to be gone within a year.
Well, we
Like
were
I
selling them
spent.
cheaper. Look, we were selling them cheap
No, I
anyway.
know.
You know what I mean? We weren't even
And
selling
that's
them
what
as
I'm
if they
saying.
were
Like,
like authentic, like the best jerseys in the world, right?
yeah,
We sold them
I mean,
at very affordable prices.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so there's nothing wrong. Like I don't, and it's you guys weren't the original buyer of him. Like you know what I mean. So it's not like you guys don't have really legality like of that. I don't think. Doesn't matter. You guys sold good quality product. It doesn't mean it's bad quality. It was
People
good
was
quality.
happy with
Yeah, and you guys sold
their
them all.
purchases.
So you
And
guys
people
did a
came
hell of a
back
job.
the people came back the next week. Hey, you got any more?
Yep.
They wanted to buy more of them. They were very happy with the product.
Yeah. Yep.
So
But
are we doing another round of Junk Saw Reseller Podcast trivia before we
not
end it
today.
today?
I say it's too tough to do anything on a whim like that. Like I'm not.
Well, I have him
He's already
sitting
got it
right
loaded
here.
up.
I have them loaded up
Huh?
right now.
Yeah, I'm loaded up.
Yup, they're sitting right in front of me. They have been.
Another college course.
This is brought to you by Water Cooler Trivia.
Oh my god.
If you don't want
Might
to
as
play,
well.
that's fine. You don't have to play. We don't have to play it.
All right. Do 3 questions. I'll do 3.
Wow, you really hate trivia, don't you? Let me put the good old spectacles on here.
I'm just not in the mood this week, definitely. And you just spring it on me like I'm not ready for it. Like I have to study,
What the hell are you studying for? It's bullshit trivia. Who cares? Are you ready?
Let's go.
Ready
Ray?
as all.
We'll
Ray,
just
are you
buzz.
ready?
Ready
Triple
as
R
I'll never be.
Collection, are you ready? Junk Jaw, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Here's question number 1. EDLP guarantees shoppers they will always get a good deal shopping with you. No need to wait for a sale. What does EDLP stand for? Do you want me to read the question again?
Yes.
EDLP guarantees shoppers they will always get a good deal shopping with you. No need to wait for a sale. What does EDLP stand for? Dun, dun, dun.
Everyday low prices.
Ray, what's your guess?
That was probably it.
Oh.
I don't think it's anything else.
Another sale. Bam.
Everyday
Jeez.
low prices is the answer.
No, okay, pause this for a sec, because I just realized you put your glasses on like a professor now.
Mhm.
Then we got Professor Kenny.
Absolutely. So you ready for question number
Yep.
2? A pair of men depicted searching, perhaps for an Ecadalian or a Doxta brand dining table, are widely regarded to have been the first gay couple featured in a TV ad. The commercial, the 1994's Dining Room, was an advertisement for what retailer? You each
IKEA?
get a guess.
Um,
Junk Joe?
I said IKEA.
Ray?
Sears.
The answer is IKEA.
Yeah, I knew it was IKEA. I just wanted to have something different.
All right. Here's question number 3. And let Ray answer first this time.
Okay.
Give me a handicap.
Which term applies to a shop that sells products other people own, then takes a cut of the sale, usually it's a percentage like 60-40?
Consign.
Junk Joe?
It's a consignment shop.
There you go. The answer's
You gave
consignment.
me the easy.
Okay, one more. We'll do one more. Question number 4. The aptly named Archer Farms is the upmarket grocery brand of what
did this
U.S.
last week.
big box store?
Yeah, we just did this one. I
Oh,
thought.
did I?
can't
Okay,
remember.
my fault.
Target.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Target. Yep.
Okay. I'll ask another one. We didn't do this one. I know we didn't do it. A permanent art installation just outside the town of Marfa in West Texas is built to resemble what high-end retail store? A permanent art installation just outside the town of Marfa in West Texas is built to resemble what high-end retail store?
Oh man.
No.
Trying to think. High end retail.
I mean, I got one thing coming to mind. I don't know how.
I don't know. Gucci.
What's your answer, James?
I'm gonna go with Rolex.
The answer is Prada.
Okay.
Hey,
Do you want to try one more?
Sure.
Here's a quick one. Okay, we're going to do number 5, and we'll make this the last question. Issaquah, Washington, boasts the headquarters of what third largest U.S. retailer? Issaquah, Washington, boasts the headquarters of what third largest U.S. retailer? Now.
Home Depot.
Junk Joe?
Target.
The answer is Costco. Mm-hmm. I know Jay wants to keep going. He loves trivia.
That's some hard
We'll
stuff.
just do a whole trivia episode.
Yeah, I need a whole trivia episode.
Well, yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe we'll schedule.
Dude, that would be fun to do live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we'll do a Junk Joe Reseller podcast trivia show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe
like
we'll make it
show.
games like we did before. We'll have some games.
Yeah.
And we'll do it live or record it, whatever the case may be. We'll make it a whole spectacle. We'll have different games, not just trivia. Maybe we'll line it up for other games too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You know what I
I
mean?
think that'd be a good idea.
I like it.
And
Yep.
So
maybe next time, James, we'll get that camera out and we'll record it and then edit it almost like a Mr. Beast style. What you call it?
Yeah, Mr. Beast, baby.
We'll have like a Mr. Beast game show.
Yeah.
We have a space. We have a warehouse space. We can have we can have an egg hunting, but don't make it eggs. We can have go and find this product in this line of boxes.
And then you have to hurry up and pack it up like super,
Yeah.
like
No,
a
no, 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 no,
supermarket
no, no,
sweep.
no, 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 no. No,
Oh,
you have 5 different spots, and I'll ask a certain question about the product, and you have to go and dig in the boxes and find that product and put it in that spot. And the next spot will be find this product, and it'll be like a trivia style question, and you have to fill the spot with that product. And whoever
Yeah.
gets the most, you have this many answers right. And then you have to figure out how many is right and how many is wrong, and you have to switch them around.
so the reseller Olympics.
Or we could take 5 items and then know the value of them and have to line them up. Which one's the least expensive to the
There
most
you go.
expensive? Stuff
No,
like
no,
Yeah,
that.
no.
yeah, we got games. We'll do.
We'll do the junk draw. Price is right.
Yeah. Junk Joe Price is right. Come on down, dude. We'll be at the steps and watch it go through
There's
the warehouse.
there's another group of resellers I think that do like a game show.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we get,
Yep.
maybe we'll do that. We'll do an episode, and when we'll contact them, and maybe we can work together and do an episode with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know. Let us know down the bottom if you watched this far. Let us know what if you want us to do some content like that. Maybe give us some ideas. Let us know down in the comments. What you would like to see from us, if any.
Another trivia question for you. What size shoe do I wear?
Didn't you just say this like a week ago?
No.
You said this not that long ago.
Did I really?
Yes. Maybe not on here. I don't know. You said it somewhere.
No, I think we're at the who you call it said next to me said I wear size shoe, and then I said I wear the same size shoe too.
Yeah, and now I can't remember.
I would say
That was right there.
James probably wears 13 to 13 and a half.
Well, you're the most likely to know. You've grown up.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh. I don't know.
I mean, I wear size 12 and a half.
I want to thank you guys for coming out again today to watch another episode of the Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. It's been a pleasure seeing you guys come every week and watch us and view us and leaving comments. It's awesome, and especially if you watch to the end. I'm gonna get. You know what? I'm gonna stop and clap for you.
And I wasn't even vulgar this week.
Absolutely not. Even he wasn't vulgar this week. We did it, and we did it all for you. And I hope you got something out of it, guys. And if you watch this far, please leave a comment. Please like. Please subscribe. Ray's out. Kenny's out. I'm out.
If you watch this far,
if
you watch this far, and then let us know that you watch this far. Put Prada down in the bottom in the comments. If you watch this far, put Prada in the comments.
Prada. We're out. We'll see you next time. Junk Jaw Resell Podcast out.
See ya.